now we are going to welcome Beatrice Faliz Mira, who is there. And she is the director of Care Insight, which is management consulting. And she's a scientific director. You can come here. Do you have a mic? I give it mine? Okay.
Thank you. First, I will apologize. I don't have a perfect English, so who will do with it? And my presentation is a mixture of French and English, but I will comment everything. And I am more focused on the French panorama, what's going on in France, and actually what are the tools or what are the problems we have to solve to go to the market and to get a reimbursement or financial for the solution we can have. So just to present me, I'm a physician and engineer. I'm working now for more than 20 years in e-health and in Care Insight, which is effectively a strategic cabinet who focused on e-health and working on three aspects, mostly on, we have une veille, comment on dit ça en anglais? We analyze and publish every day what's going on in actuality for our members. And we have consulting activities and we have network activities. Just to start now with this small presentation, I think in France, artificial intelligence is a high topic, a very hot topic. In the country, and there is a big strategic national plan focused on artificial intelligence, and healthcare is one of the specialties which are identified as being the first to have benefit from artificial intelligence. The three other ones, it's energy, environment, and mobility. And so the consequence of this, that we have a lot of national and regional actions, mainly on financial aspects, to allow collaborative innovation and to to foster the actors. So, for example, on the national aspect, we have the creation of centers deeply specialized in artificial intelligence. There are 3 IA, and they are in Grenoble, Nice, and Paris. And in each of them, you have healthcare, which is very important. And you got money, you got partnerships, and all that kind of structure. You have Challenge IA, which is a way to finance collaborative innovation and open innovation in IA for startup SMEs and other actors within healthcare. You have the creation of the Health Data Hub. I don't know if you know that, for all of you, which is well, it's dedicated to health, and it's the creation of a platform we allow access, well, under a number of regulations, to the data in healthcare. And because we are, I understood that you are focused on diagnostic, and there is a Grand Défi. It's financed by the DGE, Minister of Industry, and it will be focused on the innovation in diagnostic in healthcare.
How much money does it represent, all those?
All those? It's complex because, well, it depends. For example, Challenge ER, I think the national healthcare for for humanity, it's several hundred of it's I don't know. I think it's less than 1 billion, but more than some hundred of millions. But I don't know exactly how, because they are not focused all on healthcare. And it depends also of the candidates. Sometimes we don't have candidates.
Do you think of the French government do enough to help and to develop?
That's a tricky question.
I read that in Great Britain they put 300 billion.
I think it's, well, there is not only the amount. Is it very focused? That's the question. So is it spraying money? Or is it focused on the intention behind? And I think we are in between. But perhaps one of the good sign is the people in healthcare who are involved in e-health and IE are a young team rather working together. And that the first, I think in the first time in France that we have for leading health, e-health in France, people rather young, rather operational, and speaking to each other. So they are trying to have some coherence in the actions, not only artificial intelligence, but everything which is linked to e-health.
European people too?
There are European actions, but I was more on the French level. But there are also French European projects, and some people are in both actions. But after, is it enough? It's never enough. But I think, well, the problem is more complex. First, it has to be focused, and I think we have some good signs, but still spreading a lot. And second, you have to follow each stage of the innovation to go to the market at the end. And I think we are very good at the beginning of the story in France, but not very good after. And to reach market access and access to reimbursement is still very complex. And I think for e-health, it is at the very beginning. Apps for healthcare, only one, as far as I know, is reimbursed, is MoveCare, which is not artificial intelligence, but it's a tool which do a follow-up of patients with pulmonary cancer and can alert very soon when there is dangers to start again the cancer. And they make the proof that this application gives to the patient a better quality of life and allows more months of life during the cancer. So this application is the first one, as far as I know, e-health, dedicated to healthcare, reimbursed by the Social Security.
Has this because facing China, USA, Russia? I mean, you can't just think French.
We have some, yes, we have to think Europe. Well,
and I say regional level.
Yes, but it's
funny.
No, that's not funny. It's well, I think it's part of the game because well, the message was as I start, I said I will focus first on France, and I agree. For data access, for research, you need to be European. And there are rules and there are starting things. Then when you have to be very operational, you can go to European projects, which is a good way, but a complex way. And you can also go to national projects. After, if you consider market access, you will have a CE marking if it's a medical device, for example. And a software can be a medical device, and that's for Europe altogether. But in Europe, when you want to have reimbursement, it's different for each country. And you can't be on the European aspect on that point. It depends on the healthcare organization in each country. So in Europe, you have the CE marking or the authorization for drugs or all that tools which are European. So you are authorized to sell if you do the procedures. But after this step, you have to be you have to work country by country to have the reimbursement and to convince the physicians or the other users to buy your tool. So that's true. In France, we have a lot of regional elections, and at the end of the year, last year, for example, a startup in France won the prize of Île-de-France, but it was more than €1 million, which is not so small for a startup to have this amount of money. But it's not only that, because it's collaborative innovation and they win money, but they will work with big center in France, and that's also very important. So the message, I will not do the list, but the message is that you have a lot of tools, public tools, that can help to get money at different stage, but mostly in front at the beginning of the process of innovation. And all of them either are dedicated to artificial intelligence, either will introduce artificial intelligence within the rules. And as it is in the mood to be in the artificial intelligence, most of the time it's a plus to get money. And you have, for example, that part which are European projects. So you have Europe, you have France, you have regions. Well, you have many tools to get some money to start your innovation. It's mostly in the financing to build your solution. It's not to get to the market, or it's not to be reimbursed. Just an example, because this one I know it rather well. It's challenge artificial intelligence. So healthcare is one of the 4 topics, and in this way to be financed, it's a first actor who has some data and who has a problem, who will publish this problem and will give access to the data to a startup which candidate to this challenge, who will solve the problem with artificial intelligence and then build a solution which will be commercialized in a second step. So the startup is financed for half of the work which is done, and the other one is financed half, mostly financed by the...
Is it easy to grant an help to file to candidate?
For this one, it's very easy.
Yeah, because sometimes it's so complicated.
If you go to European projects, for example, most of the time it's big consortium, it's complex. Well, it depends. You have...
When you're very small, it's,
Don't say that. We want people to go to Europe. Don't say
it depends. Well, it depends. I will do it in another way. In Europe, projects, it's most of the time bigger projects. You need, well, it depends. You have one for SMEs alone.
And in tiny company, you need to dedicate somebody to just for the...
No, you can't. But you can be, you go to people who help you, like the Robiomed or other actors who are dedicated.
You can help those tiny companies.
Or I can find someone who will help them really well, much more than I will. But in this kind of big projects, the idea is that we try to gather the best consortium as possible, and usually there is a big one who is the leader. It can be a university or a hospital, and they have specific business units to take care of this kind of administrative stuff.
Okay.
But you have very different profiles of projects, because you have projects dedicated to SME alone, and then it has to be done by the SME, and it could be, well, it's a pathway to go through, but it's doable. And you have collaborative projects where you have to find all the consortium who will answer to the project, and then you have a big work to be together. But in that case, you have most of the time a leader. We will push and make But to be honest, well, you have to dive in it, but when you are in it, it's not so complex. It's some work, but it's some work. Other part of the game, because when you want to develop solution, artificial intelligence, we will work with hospitals. Sorry, I'm mostly French, but I can then broad. But I think it's the same situation in all countries. What we can see today that all hospitals are entering in artificial intelligence. They have different ways to go in, and most of the time it's with partnership with SMEs or startups. But they all go. All university hospitals now are working on different applications that they will. For example, say, I want to work on my emergency department and have a prediction, artificial intelligence to predict arrival or length of time of patients during their passage in the emergency department. And then they will look for SMEs, they will look for partnership, and they will work together to build the solution. And I think actually all the hospitals are doing that, university hospitals. Big hospitals, to the example of Valenciennes, which is deeply investing in artificial intelligence. And for example, most of the cancer centers are working, they have built a huge database of different cancer centers, and they are working with SMEs to build some solution. So they are a real partner now, and most of them have data, so they are looking for SMEs who help them to analyze, build, structure the database, and then they work on all the aspect of the development of product, and they really work on co-development with SMEs. That was we did a small study last year, and all of them say that they are starting now to do that.
And we hear in France we have a crisis in public hospitals. Don't they cut the budget?
No, it's not exactly. Well, the university hospitals are there. The small one, very small one, no. But the university hospitals, regional hospitals, I think a big third are there, and the cancer center are there. That's a real thing, and there are real tools to work together with, and the hospitals have big thematics and. Diagnostic in one of the main topic they work with. Then the ones, codage is very French, is to get the money back from the activity, so they are involved, they want to have this efficient, and then you have some other topics. But the diagnostic is, I think, one of the first topic which is asked by the hospitals and clinics and so on. Well, can go through this one. Then now focus on startup, perhaps what's going on. I told it's small, but you can find it in internet. It's because when you say, well, what is going on with the startup in France, BPI, which is the National Bank for Innovation, is made a study last year to analyze how many startups were dedicated to artificial intelligence and healthcare, and it's around 100. To be honest, when some of them they say they do artificial intelligence, in fact, no, but more or less 100. And diagnostic is there. It's one of the main, same analyze, and then you have other topics altogether. But just to say that it's a big move, and there are many actors. I think 80% of them have less than 3 years of life. So it's a very new activity coming, bumping up. And just the same thing, but with localization. Okay, you are in a good region, but it's true that it's very focused in France. And then that's more or less what I told you, can be helped by Pôle de Compétitivité, by the incubators. Some payers are investing also in artificial intelligence, and Pôle de Compétitivité, by example. And that just because we made a study about the biggest levée de fonds fundraising last year. And when we focused on France, that was both medical devices and IT. E-health, and you see that the two main are e-health enterprise. E-health startup for Doctolib, it's not exactly the word, even if they say that, but BioSerenity is not so old, and they had the two biggest fundraising last year.
And Carmat is on the stock exchange too.
Yeah. And that's in front of what the hospitals are looking for and doing on intelligent artificial. If you see what are doing the startup, the molecule and medicament, it's both research and prescription, so it's a little, but you know that radiology and cardiology, which are mainly diagnostic, are on the main topics. That was, well, the BPI said they have invested for 42 million euros. It's €1 billion. And year two, it's just for, but just to give you the big picture about where the money come from. That was interesting because these three actors, we saw that they really have their fundraising when they got CE marking or FDA approval. So when they were told to be, well, okay, they had access to the market, then they got the money.
And do you think it's enough to challenge competitors? These figures?
There is millions. I think it's not only the money, but we have to go. It's not a. Yeah, we need money and more than that. I agree. But after, I think it's also the good actors and the good help at the good moment, not only the moment. I wanted to focus on radiology. I think it's actually one of the more mature domain of intelligence artificial in diagnostic. Actually, the radiologues are even, well, they question themselves if they will still be existing in 10 years or 20 years. And I was in the Congress in France last year, and they made some, well, some shows. They asked some interns, some students in medicine to come and to tell to other students that they can go to radiology, that there are still some work for them, and that artificial intelligence is not killing the profession. So it's a real topic for them. They are very concerned, and they are very concerned at every step of their work today, because they are looking for tools with artificial intelligence to have a better prescription. They have tools to program the examination and optimize the dose and how to position the patient during the exam. They have tools for interpretation and diagnostic, how to read the images. So now we have tools to read the mammography. We have tools to read radiology of pulmonary examination, tools to look for bone fractures. So there are very many tools coming in this part. And then there are actually also some startup working on report redaction directly made from the image. So every step of the job is concerned by artificial intelligence. And on this part you don't need CE marking, but in this one you have already several actors, several startups who have CE marking for their products. So it's they have access to the market. But it's not enough to be bought and to be reimbursed. But and in this, for the realization of the examination, when you do a CT scanner, for example, it's GE, Siemens, Philips, Toshiba, and so on, who will work on artificial intelligence to introduce, for example, dose optimization linked to the patient or linked to noise reduction to have better images. So in that case, you really have this topic which is very hot. Et on passe sur la slide suivante. And there are many things going on. So as a first step, for example, the profession organized themselves and they created an association which is called Dream Francia, so at the beginning of its life. But the aim of this association is to be the gatekeeper to the access to images of radiologists. So gatekeeper is the wrong, perhaps not the only good word, but they will give access to image of radiology with standardization, interoperability, anonymization, enrichment of the data, and that will be a service, but they're not the only one, because you speak on international. For example, SAR in the US, which is American College of Radiology, have created a CRO to do the same thing. So it's, in that case, the profession is, well, had the volunteer to be one actor and not to be killed by intelligent artificial, but to take the lead of actions within this domain. Then you have hospitals, for example. That's another way of working on this thematic. And they are working with Arteris, which is a firm dedicated to intelligence artificial in imagery. And they have partnerships, and altogether they buy some solution to Arteris, but they also develop new application altogether using the data of the hospital. That's another way. This Therapixel has made with Hugh Glimmer. There are SMEs working on image interpretation. Some of them, as I told you, have CE market. So how can they convince radiologists and how can they go to the market? Today there is no reimbursement. So when a radiologist and when a hospital buy this solution, they will have no more reimbursement for the act of radiology, with or without. It's the same amount. So the idea is to be more efficient and to have more patients or more interpretation within the same lapse of time. And to go to market and to be bought, either they work with hospital directly. They have partnership with big industrials and they are part of the solution of big industrials. For example, they can deal with a Siemens or GE when they buy the solution within the post-treatment of the system, within the application, they will be the solution of Millview or they will be the solution of ASMED. And what we see more and more is marketplaces. And that's one way also to be on the market, is to go to marketplaces where the radiologists go to buy their solution and their add-ons of post-treatment. So that's a way of going for these people to the market and to be seen by radiologists, seen by their customer, and bought by them. There is discussions going on, just to to go on. Well, it's not discussion, it's at the very beginning, but radiologists, mostly private radiologists, want to start to work with the social security to have a plus in the reimbursement if they use intelligence artificial during their activity. Well, it's an idea, it's not done.
But what is the average budget for such solution?
The budget? It's very, as far as I know, because it's always, it's very variable. When it's on marketplace, very often they are used case by case. So it's a very dedicated post-treatment for special cases. And for example, they want to work on heart on a CT, and then they will do it on a SaaS mode. And I saw some prices about from 10 to 50 euros per usage, depending of the complexity of the software. But it's a so young market, and but that's the case when it's in a SaaS mode on a marketplace. Because I went through different marketplaces and I saw these prices. But when it's a partnership, then it's it could be a license or but partnership we don't have the price directly.
Did you see any conventions with where they share the gains with the hospital?
Not yet, not yet, and it's rather complex for hospitals.
If you have a question, maybe you can wait the question and answer session will be